Now, in what appears to be a blow to the campaign for political participation in local level elections, the National House of Chiefs, the forum of all legitimate chiefs in the country, has publicly announced its opposition to the proposal. Signed by the president of the group, Togbe Apede, the 14th, the chiefs warned that any partisan involvement in the process could breed corruption and harm their communities. We have details of the statement coming up shortly. So, who wins the vote on December 17? Well, the yes and no voters have intensified their campaigns in what appears to be the boost in the vote for the no campaigners. The National House of Chiefs have stated their position. Now, before we hear from them, let's take a quick listen to the arguments of the yes campaigners.
When the referendum is held, along with the district assembly elections, to decide whether or not we should move one step further in the consolidation of democracy in our country. The time has come for us to move forward and bring greater and more effective progress to our country. So I'm asking all of you, on the 17th of December, when you go to vote for the district, for your members of your district assembly.
So there are advantages. And as my deputy said, it has been the tested system throughout the world. It has been the tested system and it's working. And if you think it's good for the center, why shouldn't it be at the local level? Those of us from villages, we also want our villages to come up, to develop. It's not only at the center.
We're just being hypocritical, as if it's not in there. It's there. All that's going to happen now is that's going to be on paper. My assemblyman is an MPP. I mean, it's there. It's not even hidden. But what is happening is that the people are not holding the local government accountable. And I think it's because they haven't voted for them. I'm sure if the DC in my area, we had to vote for him and he was jumping up and down, I would have known who he is.
Now, among those in opposition to the proposal are the NDC lawyer, Samson Ladianyenini, and others. So, what are the current assembly members themselves saying about the ongoing debate?
On the referendum, I have a problem with the party stand on this. But to me, I believe that we should continue with the non-partisan, and that alone brings all of us together. And as assembly member here, I support my electorate all the time with gadgets, and some don't belong to the party that I belong to, but yet I support them. In fact, when I pay school fees, hospital bills, I don't look at the person party affiliation. So if we bring in party politics, to me, it's going to discriminate, because it's not all of us. Some of us, we believe in working with everyone regardless of their political affiliation. But with the assembly concept, I'm pleading that we should relook at it again if we maintain it as it is. But we should rather vote for the chief executives based on their merit, not on partisan line. Because if I'm MPP and someone is NDC and I happen to be the MC, then I have to work to favor my party members. But I don't know, maybe we want to learn from the Americans, like their mid-term elections, and then a government will say that, well, we've won many seats, like it happens in Turkey, that the sitting government lost most of the city or towns. To me, I think we should really look at it again, even though I support the idea that the government thinks that should be partisan, but personally, to me, it shouldn't be partisan. But based on the government idea of voting for yes, I'll vote yes. Yes, because majority of Ghanaians, I want it to be partisan, and I have to support it. Single vote no will not do anything.
My name is Honorable Bashir Abbas, Assembly Member for Bemomo Electoral Area, to be precise, you say New Fadama. And when you talk of the referendum, before I even delve into my opinion about it, I would first like to make some emphasis on certain things, because when I talk to a lot of people, especially my electorates, they don't really understand what they are going to vote for.
All right, so now let's take a look at the position adopted by the National House of Chiefs. Now, they say in their statement that Article 55(3) of the 92 Constitution prohibits the sponsoring by political parties of candidates for election to district assemblies or local government units. The government seeks to amend Article 55(3) and is preparing to organize a referendum for the amendment because it is an entrenched provision of the Constitution. The object of the upcoming referendum on Article 55(3), which is entrenched, is to remove this prohibition and introduce partisan politics into local government, including the election of district, municipal, and metropolitan chief executives. Now, the efficacy and utility of introducing partisan politics into local government is questionable. The development implications of such reforms are by no means self-evident. The framers of the 92 Constitution had a good reason for protecting our local government system from partisan politics, and the rationale for the new reforms has not sufficiently addressed the grounds for the exclusion. All the partisanship that resulted from the presidential appointment of the chief executives would be worsened with the amendment of Article 55(3) because the amendment itself is designed to introduce partisan politics into elections after the removal of the president's power of appointment. Now, while we're aware that the election of chief executives of districts, etc., could result in the coexistence of central government and local government controlled by different political parties, experience clearly demonstrates that the culture of winner takes all would prevail at the local level to the detriment of our united development endeavors. We are concerned that the introduction of partisan politics into local government will be accompanied by the unwholesome political culture and the corruption associated with partisan politics, which has already done a lot of harm to our society and economy. The incidence of exclusiveness, the unhealthy politicization of all issues, the marginalization of citizens who do not belong to the ruling party, and the exclusion of skilled manpower on partisan grounds would be detrimental to development and good governance at the local level. Currently, the appointment of 30% government nominees to local assemblies has been totally vitiated by the partisan politics, with the result that appointments are determined by party membership to the virtual exclusion of traditional authorities and other non-political groups, a total travesty of principles of good governance. So it concludes by saying, we want the citizenry to know that the referendum is meant to permit unbridled partisan politics into local government, and so the merits of the proposed reform should be assessed on that basis. We strongly recommend its rejection by the citizens. Well, that's what they are saying.